Welcome back to the channel. So today I've got the brand new 2023 XM. That's it. That's the name. So it's the G09 chassis, which I think is related to the G07 chassis. It's not a bespoke chassis here, but it is the first electrified BMW M vehicle. So obviously it's an interesting choice to go with an SUV or SAV, sports activity vehicle as BMW calls it, as the first electrified M vehicle. So purists probably say, why not something like, say, the M5, which of course is going to become electrified. That will be the next M vehicle to undergo this sort of treatment. But this is sort of like the halo car for BMW M and BMW as well. But basically, I think almost everything you could want on the car is included in it, with the exception of a couple things. So one is the Bowers & Wilkins sound system, but other than that, there are no options or packages you can choose from. So everything's on the car as basically standard. So you can take a look at the front grille. So obviously, one, you got the driving assistance, professional stuff, all in there included on the vehicle. You have the split headlight design that can be found on the 7 Series and X7. You see those sort of iconic looking halos that are on the iX as well. They're similar in shape, but not quite the same. And then we have no longer any laser lights. These are active matrix LEDs. And the new grille design for M, which debuted on the M3, M4, you can see the horizontal slats here. That's what it's looking like going forward for M vehicles. Here are XM badging here in gold. So the other thing you can do is basically have everything in sort of like a gold bronzish trim. So you have the outline of the grills done in gold bronze. And then we have our BMW roundel, standard roundel, so obviously doesn't have the 50th anniversary BMW M emblems, which would have made it look really, really good, or perhaps even a bespoke BMW roundel. We'll talk about that when we get to the wheels. So speaking of that, we have basically gigantic style 923M wheels. You can also get these in sort of that gold bronze finish. I think would have really set off the black Sapphire. So this is our Heya, or dealer first model, something like that. I forget what it is in German exactly, but basically the demonstration models for dealers. So gigantic brakes. You can see black M Sport calipers. You can see our roundel is no longer here. So basically it's a BMW. Logo is probably not the right word. You can see the quadrants are there that exist on the regular roundel, just all black, and you can sort of twist this thing around. It's not quite floating center caps. You see M emblem on the wheel as well. And then moving up here, obviously this is the charging port, so it's a plug-in hybrid vehicle. I can't figure out why that's sort of locked right now. And you have your XM emblem there. So this can also be had in gold bronze trim. Our standard M mirror caps. Actually, Matt Watson would probably agree. I haven't watched his video yet on the XM. So journalists just got their first drives in Arizona. Take a step back. And here's your XM. So I think lengthwise it's similar to the X7. You see the roof line slopes down a bit, sort of like the X2, or what was the X2 that's being changed. Then out back, we've got our taillights. Will look really interesting, really a sculpted look. Probably not coming out well on video. Then on either side of the hatch here are maybe etched roundels, reminiscent of what you find on the M1, the original M vehicle that started everything. Got your XM emblem as well, outlined in gold. Now we got our interesting exhaust setup here. So quad exhaust. Let me step back a little bit here. But obviously, unlike anything else that you've seen from BMW M outside of, say, going with the M Performance exhaust on the M3, M4, and now M2, but stacked up, slightly angled. Looks interesting, I'll say that. And your faux diffuser as well. All right, so make our way to the other side here. And I don't know what it is, but I'm up here all alone, and this Chrysler 300 basically parks right there. Don't know what it is about this area here that brings out these cars that just randomly park up here. Probably say the same thing about me randomly bringing up new vehicles to photograph and do a video shoot of. All right, we'll make our way to the inside, go over what is included on this monstrous vehicle. I guess one thing that's sort of weird is the door handles stick out. So instead of having flush, like basically where everything else is headed towards, you have this and you have sort of this weird design thing going here for the handle. Basically, just like any other door handle. All right, so inside, secure orange and black merino leather. So a lot to take in, so the contrast stitching. Barrows and Wilkins sound system. Up there, secure orange. So I'm curious why this doesn't say XM rather than just the M emblem. Then our seats. You see the XM emblem there. The seats look really good and really comfortable as well. A little bit of quilting and perforations as well. And your standard controls. Interesting, they're not on the door card right now, but down here as you would normally expect from BMW. All right, so steering wheel, what you're used to with BMW M. There are red M1, M2 buttons as well. Carbon fiber shift paddles that you find on the M3 and M4. And iDrive 8. So nothing too surprising in terms of what you've seen already on the later generation M or even regular BMWs. And carbon fiber trim as well on the dashboard. You can see an M logo right there next to the air vent. And then center console area, carbon fiber trim, as well as the basically what looks like the shifter for the M3, M4 embossed M emblem as well. Then you got your stitching in the M colors. So basically it looks out just like you'd find the M3, M4. Got your regular buttons here for the DSC, panoramic camera, parking assistance button, setup, M mode, and this is different here, M hybrid, basically one of your drive modes. I'll go over that in just a second. Exhaust, auto hold, everything else very similar to what we find in the, say, like the X5M as well. All right, so you press the M hybrid mode, that brings up the engine mode. So you go hybrid, fully electric, or E-control. Now E-control is basically what you, I think, now call battery hold on the new 330E. So there's no gas power that's going to help charge the battery. Normal charging is going to be through, say, brake regeneration, coasting, etc. So E-control basically holds the charge from when you press it. So right now we've got a bit of a charge here, not quite 100%. If I pressed it now, the car would work to maintain that charge level. So when I go full electric, say in a city center, for example, where there's perhaps some controls on emissions, that's when you'd use it. But let's talk about, all right, so we'll talk about pricing and options. So starting price of the XM, $159,000. And I'm mistaken on that one. So the secure orange and black leather, $1,500. There's, I think, 4 options total. So the next vehicle we're getting, I don't know when that's going to come in, will have Silverstone and some vintage leather included as well. So I'm excited to see what that looks like in person. So all these things are included. So all your driving assistance stuff, including things like lane departure warning, active cruise control with stop and go. That's part of that driving assistance professional package. You can see the traffic jam assistant as well. The parking assistance with 3D view. Active roll stabilization, those 23-inch wheels are also included. The M Sport differential, adaptive M suspension pro. The illuminated kidney grills also included. The caliper choice colors are also there. Travel and comfort system is in the back of the seats. Heated front seats and armrest, as well as the steering wheel included. Carbon fiber trim included. Front massaging seats, all there. Acoustic protection also involved in the also included. Heated and cooled cup holders also included, and then the Iconic Sounds Electric also there. Basically, all those things are there except for the Bowers molecular sound system. That's going to set you back to the 3,400 smackers. Personally, eSIM 5G is included. HUD is also included. Everything's there. So all told, MSRP of $164,895. So hopefully you can see that heads-up display. But very nice setup. Your standard M setup here for the iDrive. Let me scroll around here. You still have that Easter egg here with the M1 car for the tire pressure. So basically, an homage to what started it all, and we're in the latest M vehicle, and latest M specific vehicle. So there's not going to be a regular, I don't know what you'd call it even, an X9 maybe, or an X8, whatever it is. All right, let's go take a look at the back seat. Got more of that sort of sculpted look here on the outside of the door handle. And opening up the lovely secure orange interior, which contrasts great with the black Sapphire. Alright, so here's the view in the back. Now what you can see above me, there's no sort of, I guess what we call a sky lounge. There are some nice contours to this ceiling. And then you got some ambient lighting as well. Right now in everything, I guess, probably M mode sport. This is what you're seeing in red. You can also change to any other ambient color outside of the M mode. So let me go ahead and see what that does. I want to change our M mode to road. And what you can see then is I have the color set to blue. Very nice atmosphere in the back. Now we can see knee room and leg room, really good. I'd say comparable to the iX in terms of leg room. And then headroom, really not an issue. But let's see if we can change the ambient lighting here as well. Go into the interior lighting app. Ambiance, and then go to color. Let's see what else we got here. So lots of colors to choose from. There's no sort of M colors. That would have been pretty cool. Change that to ocean. So a slightly different look here. And then the seats themselves look and feel fantastic. There's an extra sort of cup holder thing here that you normally find on BMW. Put that back up. Very nice quilting, and that Chrysler 300 finally left. But a very interesting interior with the ambient lighting, and then no moonroof shade here. So this is all part of the vehicle. It's not like the Sky Lounge that you find on the new 7 series, basically a panoramic glass panel. But I'd say this is a really comfortable place to sit. And this thing will really, really move as well. So I think 0 to 60 is rated at 4.1 seconds. Again, I haven't watched Matt Watson's video for Car Wow. I'm sure he's got the 0 to 60 time. But this thing weighs a lot too, even with the power and torque. It's a pretty hefty vehicle. The back, and we have soft closed doors as well. Let's see if we have the kick to open. I'm pretty sure we probably do here. Let me get it lined up here. Guess not. So trunk release is down here. So trunk, I'd say, is pretty decent size, and there's no sort of extra storage below this floor here. You have some pillows as well. But I think what really sets this apart here is this is the bag for your charger. All right, so this is the bag for the charger. So you have a flexible fast charger available, so level 1 and level 2 as well. But look at this bag. That is an amazing attention to detail. You got the XM branding there. But I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a better bag for a charger for your plug-in hybrid than this one. So basically, I guess you can say they spared no expense. Over to the side here. And then you've got the attachment here. It's like a cantilever, I think it is, that basically secures the bag to the interior of the vehicle. But nice touch here, the M stripes or M colors as well. Spared no expense for a Jurassic Park, basically. Probably a very terrible accent there. So let me go ahead and close this up. I can hold the license plate with my knee here. And you've got powered hatch here. All right, so that's locked up. Let's go to the front and we'll talk about the lovely engine underneath it. Let me pop the hood here. So that opens now. It's still locked. I don't know why that's locked there. All right, so let's pop the hood and take a look at what lies beneath. So I think very excellent engine cover here. Not carbon fiber. Got your M badging, M power, and these red sort of triangles there designating the V8 engine. So this is, of course, the S68 that we've seen in other 60i models. But this one's special. So it's at 644 horsepower and 590 torques with the hybrid assist. So all told, you've got a 25.7 kilowatt hour battery on this thing. So a full electric range of about 30 miles. So very similar to what you get on the X545e. Just in a super fast vehicle. So basically an X545e with a V8 hybrid setup here. So interesting choices, and you've got a really good engine note. Let me see if we can sort of rev up the engine, at least demonstrate what that sounds like. But this is basically the future of the M5. That will be the next vehicle, basically utilizing this setup with a plug-in hybrid and V8 twin turbo engine. So 4.4 liter in displacement. All right, let's go ahead. We are in Sport Plus on the engine. So you get a lot of nice pops and bangs out of that as well. Let's take one more walk around the XM. So obviously a lot of other colors to choose from, we didn't have a choice in this one. I think my go-to from the standard colors right now is Marina Bay Blue. And BMW just announced that individual colors are coming to the XM, I think with the August production, if I'm not mistaken. And individual colors are included, so there's really no excuse not to go individual. If you are one of the people who are going to buy this car, and I think that's really up in the air of what the customer demand is going to be for this vehicle. I think it's going to be very niche, and of course there's also the label red coming with even more power and torque. And I believe that one's going to be a limited production run, because obviously your market for something like the XM, it's really, really small. Even though we live in the heart of Silicon Valley, I don't know how successful this is going to be. That's going to remain to be seen. I'm a little bit skeptical for this being the M vehicle to have. For me, I know the M5 Touring, the G99 chassis, is on the way. It will be coming to the US market. And if I'm going to get something, again, this is just me speaking, I'm getting the M5 Touring. I think that would be the vehicle to have. But obviously there's a lot to like about the specs and what's included on the vehicle of this ilk. But styling is going to be something that's going to be probably a little bit controversial as well, which is what BMW has been doing with design. So there's a lot to like, a lot to be sort of like, not so sure about this or that. But those wheels look pretty damn good. But that's it for a very elongated tour around the brand new XM. And we'll see if we can do some more videos on this vehicle. See you at the next video.